My name is Jamie Andrews, and this is the Dreame X30 Ultra, a new flagship series robot vacuum and mop combo that aims to set several benchmarks for innovation, specs, performance, and features. I'll leave a link to my previous video where I went over most all of the specs and features of the X30 Ultra above and below in the description. In this video, we are going to jump right in putting the X30 Ultra through my series of tests. In the end, I will give you a list of pros and cons and follow up with my conclusion. Our first test is the carpet pickup test, where I scatter 54 grams of rice on my medium pile carpet and send the X30 out in max plus vacuum mode to pick up as much as possible in one single pass. The X30 comes with a powerful 8300 Pascal vacuum motor, and it ended up scoring a perfect 100%, and only the third tested robot to do so. On tile floor, I scattered 130 grams of premium cat litter. With the vacuum motor set to max plus vacuum mode once again, the X30 was given one pass to pick up as much as it could. I knew just by looking at the floor that we had a record-setting result. And now is a good time to mention I do run my tests multiple times for accuracy. The X30 picked up a whopping 128 grams of the cat litter, or 98%, which makes it the new champion by 2 full grams. Now for the mopping test, where I use baked on hot sauce on my tile floor and send the X30 out for 2 passes in deep mopping mode with the water level set to max and no detergent was used. The X30 performed well in this test, mopping up 100% of the hot sauce after the second pass. The object avoidance system on the X30 consists of an RGB camera with dual structured light sensors and dual LED lights. Running it through my object avoidance test, one thing is very clear. Dreame aims to lead the industry with object avoidance. It was able to avoid all of the items, although it did get a bit too close to the black sock, while staying way clear of the animal waste and cord. I ran this test several times and the results were consistent and quite impressive. Now for the sound test, and from about 5 feet away with the vacuum set to standard sound level, we saw about 63 decibels, and when switched to max plus, it rose up to 76 decibels. The larger than industry average 6400 milliamp battery runs a really long time, and thanks to quick charging on the dock, it also recharges very fast. Speaking of the dock, I ran it through a series of tests, starting with the ability to empty the contents of a fully packed dustbin, and I was very pleased with the results as it was able to remove all of the contents. The sound level while running the audio empty was around 77 decibels, which is about average, while the power draw is around 6.4 amps and 755 watts. The dock on the X30 can wash the mopping pads with hot water. To test this, I started with 71-degree tap water and placed my temperature probe right at the water outlet in the dock's base. I was able to see a peak temp of about 135 degrees, with the average temp being more like 125. It is worth mentioning how incredibly fast it can produce hot water, which is nearly instant. While it is heating the water, it pulls 10 amps and a whopping 1166 watts of power. After the mop pads are cleaned, the pads are dried with onboard hot air, and after 2 hours of drying, I found the pads were completely dry. But the same can't be said for the dock tray, as it still had a good bit of water in it. After 4 hours of drying, most of the dock tray was dry. However, water did remain in the low part of the dock drain in the very back. The X30 has a self-cleaning dock feature. It consists of 2 wipers that spin around, driven by the spinning of the mopping pads. In my testing, they were effective in cutting down on the amount of cleaning needed for the inside of the dock, but do not entirely eliminate it. That is because these 2 round wipers are not able to cover the back part of the dock where the water drains out, so you still will need to remove the dock tray, clean it separately, and then clean the inside of the dock. Moving on to some pros and cons, starting first with the cons. First is with the removal of the dock buttons. Dreame could fix this by making the buttons on the robot act as dock buttons, but for their flagship series, it should have them on the dock. After all, the much cheaper L10 Ultra has them with a similar size dock. The next con is the dock sink, which I just talked about. I wish Dreame would use a solid one-piece dock tray, which is starting to become the industry norm. A one-piece dock tray means the inside of the dock stays clean and dry, and you only need to remove and rinse the dock tray. Instead, we have this self-cleaning system that adds moving parts that are prone to wear and tear, and it feels like it might become problematic after months and months of abuse, but time will have to tell. Another problem with this design is the dock sink tends to always have water sitting in it since the hot air can't get under this dock tray. The last con is with the extended mopping pads, which overall I am a very big fan of, but they do have some limitations. The first of which is that if you have low floor molding like my quarter round, the mop pads tend to ride up on them. Many older houses, especially in the US, have these style moldings. The other issue is with the mop pad extended, it is prone to bump into objects from time to time, which can forcefully move some items around your home, so just be aware of that. Now for the good stuff, which are the pros for the X30. In my testing, the X30 had excellent vacuum performance on carpet, and it is clear they are using a very powerful vacuum motor in this unit. After much use, I found the rubber roller brush resisted getting large amounts of hair wrapped around it, although you do still need to remove it from the ends, which should be done frequently. Dreame is going to sell a tri-cut roller brush as a separate option, which claims to cut and transfer the hair into the dustbin. I'll be sure to review that as soon as I get my hands on it. Another pro is the hot water mop washing performed better than others I have tested. And let's not forget the X30 can lift the mopping pads a full 10 millimeters for carpet. But even better, it can also detach them and leave them behind in the dock, which is super useful for people with high pile carpet. It has the same swing out mopping pad as found on the L20, but it has one software improvement that makes it even more effective with its reach. It has a setting for gap cleaning. When enabled in the app, it does a wiggle motion when it gets near low overhanging areas, such as in your kitchen or bathroom with the cabinets. And it gets the mop in really tight against the baseboard. I found this option to be quite effective, and to date no other robot I have tested gets this close. As far as object avoidance is concerned, while other manufacturers seem to be going backwards with their abilities, Dreame is making great strides in the right direction. I'm glad to see Dreame move away from using proprietary detergent bottles and now allow you to use your own cleaning solution in the solution tank. I'm sure they still want you to buy theirs though. And finally is with the smaller size of the dock, which amazingly still maintains large water tanks, and it should appeal to more people. If I had to conclude with one short statement to describe the Dreame X30 Ultra, I would simply say it is impressive. I can't really think of one thing about the X30 that should be a deal breaker for consumers, especially those who want the best at cleaning with a full-featured dock. Is it perfect? No. Is it entirely better than the L20? Yes, in many ways that certainly matter. The X30 stands out in a crowded marketplace by offering every single feature on the robot, and they also give you an excellent app with a ton of great customization. I'm going to try to do an app walkthrough video for you guys very soon. Dreame is also known to put their robot vacuums on sale very often, so make sure you check the link in the description for your best price. Many may want to know should they upgrade if they have the L20 Ultra, or wonder if it's worth buying over the L20. If I get enough comments on this video with interest for a comparison, I will do just that. I have some really exciting videos coming out really soon, so make sure if you are not already subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button now so you don't miss out. I want to thank each of you for watching this video, and be sure to take it easy out there, folks. Bye-bye.